Well, Alzheimer's and dementia can be a very scary but realistic thought for many people and their families.
So Dr. Jay Sordean is here to describe how to help prevent Alzheimer's. We're going to keep our mind very sharp, right, Doctor?
Ronald Reagan, Margaret Thatcher, and Nelson Mandela all had Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
1 out of 8 Americans has Alzheimer's, and 1 in 3 people dies with dementia. It's an epidemic in this country, and I feel so sad, and my heart goes out to the people who are caregivers and family members taking care of people with Alzheimer's. It's very difficult for them.
It is, and you're going to go over 3 mistakes that we should be avoiding when it comes to, hopefully preventing Alzheimer's, so you can break it down for us.
The first mistake is, I call the John Belushi.
Okay.
He was a very large man and a comedian, and if you have lots of, this is 5 pounds of fat. It's not real fat, but it's like 5 pounds of fat. And if you have, the more fat you have in your body, and science has proven this, the smaller your brain becomes. So dealing with obesity and trying to lose those extra pounds is very, very important, because pounds contain a lot of toxins in it, and clearing toxins out is a key to better health for your brain. The second one I call the Prince Charles, because it has to do with bad teeth. Now, Craig Ferguson on the Late Late Show used to talk about how bad his teeth were. Well, if you have inflammation or you have bacteria in the teeth, then it will go into the sinuses, and eventually it can go to the brain and cause leaky brain syndrome.
Oh my gosh.
Very bad for the brain.
Oh.
That's the second mistake. So flossing and brushing your teeth regularly and going to the dentist, very key part of keeping your brain healthy.
Things maybe we aren't thinking
The dentist,
about.
we have to believe him because he tells me that every time. And
Yeah.
so this is very important stuff. So
It's
what's
very
the
true.
third mistake?
And the third mistake I call the Three Stooges. Did you ever see the Three Stooges?
Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Well, they used to hit each other in the head with 2x4s, things like that. And we all laughed. I mean, it was so hilarious to watch them do that. But actually, these injuries are not really that funny because it adds up over time. And it's like car accidents. This is an example of what the brain looks like with the spinal cord coming down. And it's surrounded by meninges, which help to protect it. Well, a car injury can go like this. No, and it can stretch and damage the meninges, which surround the brain, and cause restriction in the flow of blood. If this was your brain, and the water in your brain, go ahead and take this, and I want you to throw it on the floor.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Ready?
That is the kind of impact that happens and could damage your brain. That's only 15-mile-an-hour car accident.
That's like it, yeah.
That would be. So these small accidents, actually, you have to deal with on a timely
Even
fashion.
a fender bender.
Exactly.
Okay, so definitely some things to consider while we're trying to prevent Alzheimer's in ourselves. Now, what about blood circulation? Does that correlate at all with our memories?
Well, I have what's called the brain formula. B stands for blood circulation. So we have to get blood and oxygen going to our brain, or else it is going to die. So to keep it healthy, we need to do things like acupuncture. We need to do neurologic relief center technique, which deals with the meninges. And also everyone shrug your shoulders. That's it. Even shrugging your shoulders moves the oxygen and blood in this area, relaxes it so the arteries in the vertebra can actually get blood to the brain.
Okay.
R stands for removing toxins. Now, I talk about this because toxins can be heavy metals. This is a silver bullet. There's really no silver bullet for Alzheimer's. The Alzheimer's Association has stated that it is a multifaceted problem. And so R is removing toxins from your body and not putting them in your body, like filtering your water is very important. A is avoid sugar. Diabetes is now considered for many people to be type 3, Alzheimer's is type 3 diabetes. So there's a direct correlation with too much sugar in the blood and the brain degenerating. I stands for inflammation. Diabetes is an inflammatory condition. Inflammation in the teeth we already talked about. Inflammation influences the brain, and it can cause damage to the brain cells, and that can lead to Alzheimer's and dementia. And N stands for names. So Tina and Heather, it's very important when you first meet someone to practice remembering their name, because it's a visual thing, it's an auditory thing. There may be an association, like I had a cousin whose name is Tina. I know several Heathers. So when I think of your name, it associates these pictures in my head. And so actually practicing, when you meet someone new, practicing remembering their name in all the ways you can is going to liven up your brain and keep it healthy. So practice the brain formula in order to prevent dementia.
And in the book, Doctor, is it going to have these tips along with more explanation?
I do have tips. This book actually is an expansion on the points I just made in this talk. And the other book is more about how to enhance your brain beyond just Alzheimer's and dementia.
So I'm wondering, what does the Alzheimer's Association kind of say about treatment for Alzheimer's?
Well, again, the Alzheimer's Association says there's no silver bullet yet. And there are several different causes for Alzheimer's, so it's a multifaceted approach is necessary. Diet is very important, removing toxins from the system, dealing with head injuries in a timely fashion. Those are all part of the formula.
Well, we definitely are going to encourage our viewers to get these wonderful books because I think that it's important for anybody who might have a family member who's suffering from Alzheimer's or worried about it in their own gene line. So I want to thank you so much, Doctor, for coming today.
My extreme pleasure, thank you.
And to learn more, you can call 510-849-1176 or log on to superbrain-thebook.com or theredwoodclinic.com.